Bill Anderson, you pitched a story. It's about the 76ers basketball team, a huge tax break from the state of New Jersey, and some upset politicians. What do you got?
Yeah, and a bizarre move. The Philadelphia 76ers are rebuilding their practice facility along the Camden waterfront. So I went down there, walked around, saw the proposed site, and looked into why some New Jerseyans are questioning the deal. The New Jersey Economic Development Authority, led by Governor Christie appointees, voted unanimously to give the Sixers $82 million in tax credits to build the facility in Camden. In exchange, the Sixers will bring 250 jobs to New Jersey. 200 of them already exist and are already filled, so 50 new jobs coming to Jersey. I went to Trenton to speak to State Senator Mike Doherty. He's one of the people who's upset.
When you have these deals where everybody's a friend sitting around the table and the billionaire sitting there and connected politicians are sitting there, who's looking out for the taxpayers?
He can't understand why they do a deal like this, especially facing a huge budget deficit.
We have an $800 million budget gap. We're not going to make the full pension payment. The tax rebates for homeowners are going to be delayed until next year. Local government's cutting to the bone because reimbursement from the state of New Jersey is being cut back, but we're giving $82 million of taxpayer money to build a basketball practice facility.
Now, the tax breaks alone created a bit of a stir and some backlash, but if you look deeper, more questions arise. We looked at IRS records and found that two of the key Sixers execs have donated tens of thousands of dollars to the Republican Governors Association over the last several years. Now, in fairness, some of those donations came prior to Governor Christie being in leadership, but it still has led to a lot of questions. And it's not strictly a Republican concern or Republican issue, because according to reports, the Sixers are being represented in this development deal by Philip Norcross. The name sounds familiar, the brother of political figure George Norcross and Democratic State Senator Donald Norcross.
We have ambitious politicians who are willing to sell out the taxpayers so they can make friends with billionaires, so when they run for higher office, they'll be funded. And it's outrageous.
Now, to make it clear, none of these close connections on the surface are illegal. But with New Jersey offering $82 million in tax breaks while facing a huge deficit, the questions remain, is a practice facility for an out-of-state team the best use of funds? And did it happen based on merit, or did it happen based on political connections?
I mean, it does make a question. I think it's easy to pile on and say, wow, that balance sheet immediately doesn't add up. But my question is, what's the long-term tax revenue that will come into the state by creating jobs? And two, what did the governor say about it?
It's interesting. Veronica, while she was chasing the governor, got a soundbite from him. The governor's excited about it. He does say that it's going to generate income for the state. But there are projections. They say about $77 million in benefit to the state over 35 years. And part of that includes development that, in quotes, may happen based on restaurants or other development alongside the Sixers facility.
And this is the problem. We're not talking about a stadium. We're talking about a practice facility that will not be open to the public of Camden.
Practice?
Isn't it practice? We're talking about a practice facility, so it's not going to be used for any sort of game. It's not bringing people there. It's bringing a few players that are going to immediately leave.
It's a great point. I mean, the two sides to it. On one side, I always like to see a tax break to create jobs before a direct government subsidy to just spend taxpayer dollars outright. On the other side of that, they've been trying this for a while, and they haven't solved the crime problem. They haven't solved the local mom-and-pop shops. Small business in this state is the #1 employer outside of the state of New Jersey, and it's the small businesses that are not coming into a place like Camden. Too dangerous.